Hi, I'm instructor Jennifer Wallace, and this is Custom Self-Defense. In this video, we're going to talk about how to set your opponent up for self-defense on the street. One of the biggest problems I see on the street is especially if you're used to fighting, ring fighting, or fighting in your dojo or your whatever other classes you take, people tend to want to box or spar in the street, and it's really not safe. If I'm sparring my opponent, we're squared off, I'm more cautious, I'm watching him, I'm more playing tag to come in, come out. What I want to do is make my opponent think that I am vulnerable, I don't want to fight, they're correct, they're right, whatever they say is good. I have to think smart. So if I have an opponent that I'm either concerned about, like say there's someone in a facility I'm at, like whether it's a bar or a party or out on the street, and they're making me uncomfortable, I'm always going to try to keep my distance. So my goal is, just stay there for a second, is minimum, I'd like to keep 6 feet. Doesn't always work that way, or more. 6 feet is not very far. Right now, if Roger stays where he's at and extends his arm out, he can't hit me. But one step, and he's here, okay? So it can go very quickly. So obviously, the further I am away, the safer I am. The issue is, I don't ever want to look like I want to fight. But I also have to be ready so that if Roger or another person does attack me, that I can move, I can protect, I can do what I need to do. And we talk about that a little bit more in our tri-block system, but I'm just going to go over some quick basics. So for example, some people, when they're threatened, they get in a more of a fighting type stance. Well, even if I do this, to me, if I'm like this to you, it looks like I want to fight. If I'm like this and I go, hey, everything's cool, I don't want any problems, you're right, I'm wrong, I didn't mean to upset you, whatever, I try to diffuse that situation. What can I do to make it right? I'm going to leave, I'm going to do whatever I can to not get in that altercation. I don't look threatening right now. I'm moving my hands around, I'm talking, my hands are where I want them. I mostly like my hands at neck height, but if they're just below the neck and you practice, you're able to move high, low, and define what you need to do without looking like you want to fight that person. Can I stay totally stationary, my legs even-footed? Yes, if you know how to move on your feet, you can. I can lean to one side, I can lean back on one foot, be ready to push off without having to make it look like I want to fight somebody. So in this instance, I want to keep distance. I'm going to set my opponent up. So while I'm here, I'm saying to myself, put Roger at this angle. I'm looking at Roger, and I'm going, okay, which direction am I going to go if I have to defend myself? And the way that I decide that is what is my safest angle of defense. And what I mean by that, and we don't have another person here, but if Roger has a friend over here, or even my friend, for that matter, is standing right next to him, I do not want to sandwich myself in between two people. I always want to go where I have a clear area, if I can, where there's nothing I'm going to trip over, fall over, slip on, be slammed into a wall, whenever possible. Sometimes there are objects on both sides, or people, and I have to choose in my mind, where's the safest way to go? I might be right, I might be wrong, I am human. But I really want to choose that safest angle of defense. So when I'm setting him up, I'm telling him I'm not going to fight, everything's cool, I don't want to fight you. I am saying to myself, if he moves, I'm going to my left. Or if he moves, I'm going to my right. And whatever he throws, I am going to defend. And if you learn my tri-block system, it won't matter what they throw. And you're not going to worry about it because you're going to go to the angle that you have already predetermined in your mind. And because I've already made that commitment, and I am focused and committed to doing that, going to that angle, in this case I'm going to go to the left, I already know that I am 9 times or 10 times more likely to block whatever he gives me if I block correctly and stop correctly. So I'm here, Roger's pointing at me, he's threatening at me, I go, hey, it's cool, I'm going to try to keep my distance. If he moves, I'm going to try to keep the same distance. I am telling myself I'm going that direction, okay? Roger moves with however he's going to move. I go to this direction. Now I turn, and here I am. I'm behind that delivery system, which we talked about in another video. I want to be behind where he's throwing that punch from, which means at the shoulder or behind the shoulder. So I already have the advantage right now. Okay. If I try to spar him, it's going to be extremely difficult or almost impossible to get back there because he's going to be more cautious. It's more like playing tag. And I want to make sure that I have as close to a guaranteed placement for me to counterattack or take down as I possibly can. So make sure you keep distance. Make sure you choose the safest angle of defense. Say I choose this side. Okay, Roger throws a punch. I'm going to come to this side, and I'm going to turn. And again, I'm behind this. So I have all this at my disposal. It doesn't matter if he pulls this arm back, if he throws that other hand. I am behind that delivery system. Okay? And I have decided way ahead of time that if he moves, that's where I'm going. So it's very important to set up your opponent. And this is what I mean by that. Again, quick review. I want to make sure I have distance. I want to try to de-escalate the situation. I want to make sure, even if I'm not in a position of I'm defending myself or I want to fight you, that my hands are actually in a position that will defend myself, okay? And that I am moving to my safest angle of defense if that person moves. So in my mind, I'm thinking the second that person moves, I'm going there. Doesn't matter what they throw. And that tri-block system will teach you how to block everything they throw more reflexively. But right now, I want you to understand you have to commit to where you're going, and you have to make it the safest angle of defense. Again, my name is Jennifer Wallace. I am an instructor and owner of Custom Self-Defense, and I hope you enjoyed this video.